This is one of the most mysterious species in the world. That could be because they spend more time underground than any other canid. Or it could be because they were named for their speed, and if you blink, you could miss them. This is the swift fox. Hi, I'm Danielle Dufault, and you're watching Animal Logic. Today we're in Grasslands National Park in Saskatchewan, named for, you guessed it, its incredible natural grasses. And we're on our way to go and visit one of its smaller residents. The swift fox, aka Vulpes velox, is actually one of the smallest of fox species in North America. Typically about 30 centimeters tall, weighing about 2.5 kilos, and they can be up to 1 meter long. Their tails are long and make up about 50% of their total length. Their ears are pointy and quite large relative to their bodies. Swift foxes live in dens. They rely heavily on these underground burrows because they spend so much of their time there. Dens are usually 2 to 4 meters in length with 4 entrances to avoid being cornered by predators. Their main predators are coyotes, but swift foxes are also hunted by badgers, horned owls, golden eagles, hawks, and bobcats. Like most foxes, swift foxes are nocturnal and are rarely seen outside the den during the day. But just because they're homebodies doesn't mean each den is a forever home. Swift foxes are known to use up to 13 different dens in a year, and will move from place to place if there's scarcity of available food or a buildup of bothersome parasites. Rather than digging a brand new den with each move, they're often found living in abandoned badger holes. As for their diet, swift foxes have evolved to feed on a little bit of everything. They adapt their diet according to the availability of food sources and are known as opportunistic foragers. These omnivores can be found eating anything, from insects and grass to reptiles and even carrion. Historically, the swift fox was actually considered an abundant predator of the prairies. In Canada, in the 1930s, swift foxes completely disappeared from the wild. So what happened to these sweetest of Swifties? In the early 1900s, when Canadian territories were becoming more populated and both agriculture and ranching became extensive, the loss of natural grasslands habitat absolutely gutted the Canadian swift fox population. They also faced threat from excessive trapping for their furs. Swift foxes are known to be curious beings without a healthy fear of humans, so they became vulnerable to shooting and trapping. Fortunately, since the 1970s, conservationists have been working on reintroducing the swift fox to the Canadian prairies in order to re-establish a small, self-sustaining population. Some of these releases were even made in Grasslands National Park. And thanks to these reintroductions, there are now several hundred swift foxes in these areas. They still face habitat fragmentation and poisoning. The survival of the swift fox and the preservation of the natural prairies are closely linked.